You know, I love that intro by Charlie. She has that professional voice.
She's got the most beautiful voice.
She does. I'm surprised that she's not like in New York or Los Angeles on the air. So, but
well,
there's
I
nothing
always
better.
Tell her that as well. So,
yeah, but I'd rather be here in the country in Bostwick.
We want her here. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's she's got a great voice.
She's deep rooted here. So
that's right. I think she was in Atlanta for a while, so I think she's done the big city thing and kind of done been that type deal. Well, I'm Jeff Hood. This is the Marc McMain Show, and the lovely Chastity Stewart is over here running the board, and it's a Wednesday.
Yes.
You know what else it is? I realized this morning when I was on Twitter and like, what? That doesn't make sense. What's on the calendar? What is today?
Holy Week.
Well, it's Holy Week, but it is April 1st.
Yes. Oh, yes, April Fools.
Yeah, because I was starting to... Usually I get my news, and it's a mistake, on X, and I got a lot of news feeds, and I go through and like, no, that can't be true. And then, look at the calendar, April 1st. So they're trying to pull my leg.
April Fools,
April Fools. So, but we won't play April Fools today. We're going to shoot straight with you on what's going on. And you're right, Holy Week, Easter coming up on Sunday. Hope you have made plans to attend a church of your choice. And you were just saying you may, if it's not raining Sunday morning, catch a sunrise service.
So, yes, my daughter and we are wanting to go to the top of Stone Mountain. So,
I've done that.
Yes.
I loved it.
She's done it before. She loves it.
Yes.
So we're going to try to sneak out super early, get there, and watch the sunrise and have a beautiful service.
It is wonderful to truly watch the sunrise. Now, they don't, when I went, they didn't have the sky bucket running until a little bit later. But if you're getting there before the sun goes up, there's a group of people. But you literally, now there is a place where you can safely climb or scale the mountain to get to the top. But you still kind of got to be careful because you're in the dark and you want to have a flashlight or two, maybe use your phone or something just to be sure.
That's a good idea because we do plan on walking up the mountain. So I'll have to have my little headlamp.
Yeah, like you're a coal miner or something. Chastity the coal miner.
That would be funny.
Yeah, but the good news is you can't get lost because there'll be a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And you know, sometimes you know how guys don't like to follow directions or stopping at, hey, where am I at? We just follow the crowd.
There you go.
And they're all going to the top of the mountain.
It
does.
Yep.
That I had not thought about that, but I have done that. You know, that was on my bucket list for many years. And I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, I told my wife, I'm going to get up early. I think I left my house at like 5 a.m.
Yes,
yeah, and it was easy. And I think I even went back down the mountain without riding the sky bucket. Because that's mainly because I had my car parked on that side of the mountain.
Right. Easy to get to.
Yeah, but it was wonderful.
Well, I had mentioned to my daughter, I said, maybe we'll leave around 3. She's like, Mom, that's entirely too early.
Well, no, that is kind of early.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to leave at 3.
Okay.
What time is sunrise? 7:30, 7:20, something like that?
Right around there. So.
Yeah, you should be fine.
So around maybe like 4:30, head that way. Now, what about rain? You had mentioned rain.
Well, yeah. Now, that could kind of put a kink in plans, not only at Stone Mountain, but other outdoor services. So we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. Yeah, I don't think I would want to climb a mountain in the rain.
No, especially not a Stone Mountain.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, Easter is this Sunday, so we've got a great show for you. One of our guests, our 12:30 guest, and I thought, it's only appropriate to have a pastor, a man that I've known for many years, to talk about not only Easter, what it all means, but his church over in Oconee County. So we're going to have Pastor Mike Ricks on at 12:30. He is the pastor of Bethabara Church over on Highway 78. It's a Statham address, but it's very close to Walton County, but it's in Oconee County. He has got what I think in this area is one of the all-time great landmarks. If you're trying to explain where that church is located, He is like right around the corner from Stripling's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the closest church to Stripling's, maybe a quarter mile. And so, easy, because people know where Stripling's is.
It's a beautiful piece of property there.
Yeah.
It looks tucked away and, off from the road.
That's right.
Just
You've
beautiful.
seen it.
I have seen it.
It is historic, and they've got a great pastor. So we'll look forward to talking to Pastor Mike at 12:30.
Okay.
Now, tomorrow is the last day of the General Assembly up at the Capitol, not in D.C., but in Atlanta. And they were in session late last night. They're off today. There's like 4 committee meetings, but tomorrow is sine die, and that is a marathon day. They will be there till midnight or later. And, man, just buckle up because some crazy things happen. Everybody's trying to get their legislation across the finish line. So we're at 12:15. We are hoping to get AJC lead political reporter Greg Bluestein on the line. Now, Greg texted me a few minutes ago and said that, hey, Jeff, unexpectedly, the governor is hosting a press conference, and it's about to start. So if the governor's done by 12:15, I'll be on the show with you via phone for a few minutes. And so, but we have a backup plan. So
Yes, we
I
do.
hope we get Greg to find out what in the heck the governor's talking about. But if we don't, if he's still tied up with Brian Kemp, we've got a backup plan. So we will, we leave no stone unturned here
There you
at
go.
WMOQ and the
That's
Marc
right.
McMain Show. Well, let's talk about news of the day. So, are you feeling pain at the pump still, Chastity? I mean, you've got
yes.
how many gallons does your vehicle
Oh,
hold?
man.
You got a big vehicle out
Yeah,
there.
it's like 20 plus gallons, and it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
There's a little gas war going on at the BP right
Yeah.
there on 138 and 8th, so you can
Okay.
catch some good little deals there now because there's a new store there, a convenience store. So the original store and the new store is kind of having like a little gas war, so you can find some savings there sometimes.
Okay.
But you had mentioned the Kroger, the Plus cards,
Yeah.
and saving dollars at the pump.
Right,
So
right.
tell us a little, how much are you saving
Yeah.
at the pumps?
I filled up my car and at the same time, my son-in-law's truck, and you can get 35 gallons when you start to accumulate Kroger. What's it called? Points, I
Yeah,
guess, or
Kroger,
fuel,
yeah,
fuel
fuel
rewards.
points,
Fuel rewards. So I had made some purchases. And let me tell you a secret. We talked to my buddy Jeff Weatherly a few weeks ago about gift cards. If you buy gift cards, go to Kroger, clip the digital coupon, and they do this off and on throughout the year. You get quadruple fuel rewards. In fact, that is underway right now because I bought a gift card this morning and got quadruple points. And if you catch those just right, and you're buying a gift card, for a real need, either a gift or self-use, you can quickly accumulate enough points to get $1 off. Now, you can get 10 cents off, 20 cents off, which is good. But, man, when you get that $1 off, I paid to fill my vehicle and his vehicle up last week. It was right at 34 gallons. You can get 35 gallons. $1 off. We paid $2.33.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, the good old days
Yes,
for regular
that's- yeah.
unleaded. And so I saved, I guess it was 34 gallons. I saved $34 on my
That's
fill up.
Incredible.
Yeah, just
So,
by using gift
yeah,
cards
go
and the
out.
Kroger fuel
Yeah.
rewards.
And who's not going to use a Kroger gift card because you're
Yeah,
going to
now
need
you
groceries?
can. Now it's not a Kroger gift card; it's other brands.
Okay.
Like I buy Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's. If I'm going shopping at
all
Lowe's or Home Depot, those count. I mean, anything on what they call the gift card mall or the display, except Kroger, because they know this. If you were people shop at Kroger and spend a lot of money, so
Yes.
if they know I'm going grocery shopping, I'm gonna buy $100 worth of groceries. Well, hold on, I'm gonna get a Kroger gift card and get the quadruple points.
Yes.
Well, that won't work.
Hey, those people
Yeah.
are genius. That's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
that's right. Well, if it was legal or permitted, I would be buying a lot of Kroger gift cards,
Yeah,
but I
just
buy
save $1.
all these other brands gift cards
Okay.
at Kroger.
So kind of switch it up a little.
Yeah, that's right.
And
like if you know you got to buy a gift for someone, and they like to go to a certain restaurant, go buy the gift card, and you probably don't want to tell them like, well, I like you a lot, but I'm saving $1 a gallon on the
they
next
don't have
fill
to
up.
know that.
So,
Yeah.
no, they don't have to know
And
that.
if they, maybe they'd be proud of you, and
Yeah.
then you can share that
well,
little
that's true.
wealth of information.
And then they're going to want to take their car over and take
Yeah.
advantage of that $1 off that
There
I
you
just
go.
earned. So anyway, yes, you know, and the fuel tax has been suspended, so that helps. Of course, you know, we're not going to be collecting money to repave roads, state highways, and, you know, build bridges and all that for 60 days. So,
Yeah.
but hopefully, the war in Iran is coming to an end, and the president is going to address the nation tonight at 9 p.m.
Okay.
And I think that's the main topic, is to give us all an update.
Yeah.
And hopefully it is nearing its end, and we will kind of see things settling down, the hostility, and see those oil and fuel prices begin to drop.
I did see a statement where President Trump said that he is planning to pull out of Iran very soon. So
Good.
prayers for that. Just
Yeah.
keep praying for our country.
Absolutely. And Israel.
Absolutely,
they're
yes.
one of
The
our
people,
allies
sure, absolutely.
over there. And now, while the fuel prices have been climbing, which we don't want to see, I think
No.
they've stabilized. How's your 401k looking, your retirement? Because, you know, the stock market had been taking a hit for the past month, but yesterday and today the markets are up sharply.
Okay.
So that's good to see.
Positive.
Yeah, which you may need to tap into a little bit if you don't get the
Yeah.
Kroger fuel
To
rewards to pay to
offset
fill
these
your
costs
car
of
with
gas.
fuel. So anyway, so that's some good news right there.
That is
So
good news.
okay, last night at Aikens Ford Arena in Athens, I'm sure Bob Furr was there on
Claws
front
up.
row with the
Claws
Madison
up.
trolley out in the
Did
parking
you
lot.
go?
I didn't get to go, but I watched some of it on YouTube. Now the bad news is the Rock Lobsters lost the game 6-3.
It's okay.
But guess what happened 3 minutes into the game?
What's that? Oh, fight?
WWE
Oh.
brawl on the
It
ice.
was a fight.
It was a good one.
Oh.
There, you know, usually it's just two guys. There were
Yeah.
like 8 guys.
Oh.
They were pushing and shoving, and helmets were flying.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I would feel bad for the ref having to say,
Yeah.
all right, when do I go to get in the middle of that?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I would kind of stand off to the side.
Then, you know, some of them had to
That
go
would
to the
be fun.
penalty box.
So within the first 3 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was
They had only played 3 minutes, and, you know, I'm sure people, I was watching it on YouTube, but I'm sure there were people standing in line to get their hot dog and like, what
I'm
just
missing
happened?
that. Hold on.
People are yelling like, punch him, hit him, punch him, so, you know, and all this
Claws
stuff.
up, claws up.
Yeah, claws up, and then deck him right in the nose. But
Oh.
yeah, so anyway,
That's tough.
but the Rock Lobsters did lose. Now, they've got 2 more home games for the regular season. They're in the playoffs, but they will be back in action at Aikens Ford Arena Friday night and Saturday night. Oh, guess what Saturday night's promotion is?
What's
Star Wars night.
Oh.
Yeah.
So dress as your
Well,
favorite?
I'm not going to dress.
No?
Because, you know, I watched all the Star Wars movies, but I'm not you know, I wasn't into it that much. But I do have, actually, my son-in-law, daughter, and grandson, I think they're all going to go dressed as characters.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would dress up as Yoda.
Yeah. Okay.
Yoda
so
was my favorite.
there you go. We'll get a ticket.
And can you get it, like if you dress up, is there an incentive?
No, I mean, I don't know if they're having a contest. They might,
Yeah,
you know,
I
best
bet they
dressed.
do.
You know, there'll be people like in the lobby taking pictures with other people that are
That'd be
dressed up
so
as characters.
fun.
So yeah, it's
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
I love the themes that they incorporate with the games.
Oh, it's awesome.
Because
You know,
I think they had the pets. Did they bring your pets?
I think they did this past Sunday.
Okay.
I didn't get to go to
Yeah,
that
that
one.
is special.
I've been too busy, but yeah,
How fun would that be?
that would be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to go to that one. And I'll have my camera on my phone,
There you
but
go.
take some pictures, and maybe I'll see Chewbacca and R2D2 and CP3O.
Maybe you'll see Yoda. Claws up.
Possibly so. Okay, we're going to take a break. This is Jeff Hood filling in on the Marc McMain Show. We're going to try, if the Brian Kemp press conference is over, to get AJC political writer Greg Bluestein on the air, but if we don't, we got a backup plan. So let's step away, take a break. You're listening to The Marc McMain Show on Q92.3.
Recently, I was on a flight writing on a legal pad, and the man next to me struck up a conversation. "Are you an author?" he asked. I said, "No, I'm actually a preacher." Well, the look on his face was priceless. How would you feel if you're stuck sitting next to a preacher for several hours? Surprisingly, though, we had a good conversation. He asked me several questions about Jesus, and I told him that the Bible says if Jesus didn't rise from the dead, Christianity is worthless. Ever thought about that? You see, the truthfulness of Christianity hinges on whether Jesus died and rose from the grave. There's great evidence for it, and I'm one of the billions of Christians around the globe who believes that the resurrection really happened. If Jesus did conquer death, then he's worthy of your trust. If he didn't, reject him because he's a fraud. I believe he really conquered death. What do you believe? This is Brian Wright, speaking right from my heart.
For devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
Spring is right around the corner. New beginnings, fresh starts, and big moments. If you're thinking about proposing, if you're ready to take the next step, you go to P&A Jewelers. For 50 years, families have trusted P&A Jewelers to celebrate life's most important milestones. Proudly second-generation, family-owned and operated by brother and sister, we specialize in stunning engagement rings and custom designs made just for you. P&A Jewelers, located at 4665 Atlanta Highway next to Quick Trip in Loganville.
Roll-Off Systems of Statham, they're on a roll. They offer dumpsters in all sizes, trash compactors, porta potties, and new combo cans. Existing sites are new building sites. Trash and waste disposal, it's their business. Locally owned and operated. Call Roll-Off Systems today. 770-725-ROLL. That's 770-725-ROLL. Or go to rolloffsystems.com.
Welcome back to the Marc McMain Show. I'm Jeff Hood sitting in for Mark. Well, the Brian Kemp press conference is still underway, so we're not going to be able to get Greg Bluestein on the air, but perhaps next Wednesday.
Right.
But we have an outstanding guest. He has been on the airwaves with us in the past, and I called Todd about 15 minutes ago and said, Todd, we need if we can't get our original guest on because he's in a press conference with the governor, well, I got to get you on to talk about what you've written about, Todd, the last 2 days on AJC.com, and then you also put out the Georgia High School Football Daily. But it really caught my eye because of what is going on with high school football state championship games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And Todd, welcome to the show, and kind of update our listeners on what you broke as news the last 2 days regarding those state championship games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, well, the state championship football games were played in December. It usually takes the GHSA 2 or 3 months before they release all the financials because they want to have all their numbers exact before they send the payouts to the teams and that sort of thing. So, so just was able to find out through getting data from them that for the first time in history, the football championship games actually lost money. And because of that, the Georgia High School Association took $150,000 from their reserves in order that they could pay out the 16 schools that played in the 3-day event. Right. And so each of them got a little less than, an average of about $10,000, so which is what they typically get at Mercedes-Benz. So, yeah, that was the news. Just pretty interesting that they didn't make money this year, and it lost a little bit, and it was mainly because of lower attendance. It was down about 10%.
Right.
And then also it's really expensive to rent the premier football facility in the state. The rent for Mercedes for this event was $700,000 plus for the 3 days.
Well, it is obviously hosted the Super Bowl. I think it's going to host another one, the SEC Championship, NCAA Football Championship. So, yeah, it's a premier facility. But, talking to kind of my network of friends the last couple of days, there has been a lot of back and forth pros and cons. I know that I read that you said that they've renewed their contract with Mercedes-Benz Stadiums for this year's state championship games coming up in December. But, boy, a lot of people, though, Todd, are questioning, has this kind of run its course? They were at the Georgia Dome originally. They were at the old Turner Field, Georgia State Stadium, and then now they're at Mercedes-Benz. But, I can see both sides of the coin. But what say you? I mean, where do you think this is headed starting in 2027?
Well, I think they're just going to see how things do this year for the December games, and then it's going to be 3 days again. The interesting thing about in the fall is that, in this coming season, is that instead of having 3 consecutive days where you also have flag football championship games, they're actually just going to let the traditional tackle football be 2 days, and the flag football, which there'll be at least 5 finals, will be played a week earlier. So they still are going to rent the building for 3 days to put on all those games. So I think it's going to be a wait and see. But a key point here when we talk about the pros and cons is to understand that the Georgia High School Association does not play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in order to maximize profit. They do it to sort of maximize the experience. So they realize they're not going to make as much money paying this amount. I mean, they could play in high school venues, or they could go back to Georgia State, or they could consider wherever, Georgia Southern, and another neutral site that charges far, far less, and they could potentially make more money, but they feel like the membership, by and large, prefers to play, to give their students, their fans, coaches, that experience of playing in the Atlanta Falcons stadium. So that's the kind of balance they're trying to get there, and also, the GHSA, they have a pretty good amount in reserves because of some good investments and business deals that they've really secured the last 5 or 10 years. So the $150,000 is not a lot of money, as long as it doesn't happen every year.
Sure.
So I think they're fine with going it again. They would have to continue to lose money, I think, before they seriously considered a change.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting on the attendance, because I think if you've got a team that has never been there, or maybe a team that hasn't been there in decades, you're going to easily pull, your fan base. But, some teams that, like, gosh, we've been here 5 years in a row, I'll just watch it on TV, GPB. But I think to me, though, the big obstacle to drawing a big crowd on the way it's situated currently is like this past December, the games were on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And, if your team is kicking off at, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., and you're having to travel from Early County, that can be a challenge.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring it up, because I did mention that. Yeah, so the games are played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the reason that it takes place is because the Mercedes-Benz is not available on the weekends. They've already got it rented out to entertainment or to soccer, or Atlanta United, or that sort of thing. So that's the only option they had. It doesn't really hurt attendance that much, though. It hasn't so far. Now, I know it was down this year, but keep in mind that it was about 46,000, I believe. But last year, in 2024, it was a record of 51,000. So they're getting a good number. That doesn't mean they wouldn't get far more if they could secure, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm just not sure that's practical or will happen. So, yeah, and another thing, as far as it going down, it may just be a blip that it went down this year. A lot of times it's what are the matchups, what are the teams involved. I think a lot of teams that were in it this year, about 5 of them anyway, were in it last year, and then about there weren't as many teams like within 50 miles of Mercedes-Benz. A lot of them had to travel further. So it might have just been the teams, how familiar they were with having been there, that sort of thing. And it may pop right back up this year, but who knows?
Well, and I will say, being a longtime high school football fan, it is great going into a controlled environment with the temperature in December. You're not having to bundle up, but I tell you, I have seen in my lifetime on campus so many just electric state championship games. Going way back, and that's just a special feel when they're on campus. But I do get it. I mean, those kids want to be in the building and, the spotlight and, playing where the NFL teams play, et cetera. And I get it also from the television production. I mean, they set up their equipment and they can basically leave it. They've got state of the art, and, you can televise all the games. If you're, scattered on campuses, that's the downside, because you can only televise so many, and then you're going into some schools that barely have a press box.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if just as a fan, the best situation would be in some high school stadium where there's 10,000 people and the weather's nice and it's just rocking, But you did mention a lot of disadvantages with that. Number one, it's therefore not going to be neutral. So a team that may be undefeated and ranked number one might be playing on the road or something. And then, there's weather issues that you might have. And then also, I really I like going to those, games where it's high school, stadium. But for watching on TV, there's nothing better than what GPP is able to do. Just sit there 3 straight days, and I can just sit home and watch every game. Because they're all in one venue. If they were all spread out around 8, maybe not all of them would be televised or not televised well, that
sure.
I could see. So, there's all those things. Also, one last thing too is sponsors and advertisers also prefer that one venue.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, well, before we let you go, Todd, you, of course, you grew up in Oconee County. You know high school football, I would argue, better than anybody, not only what's going on currently, but historically. And so your stories appear on AJC.com. But for those that they've heard about this thing, the Georgia High School Football Daily, and I know that there was a merger with AJC and Varsity, but I know that the newsletter will resume sometime in August. So tell our listeners approximately when the newsletter, an email newsletter, will resume and how they can go about getting it sent to their email inbox every morning.
Yeah, well, Georgia High School Football Daily is now owned by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and AJC Varsity, but we will continue to be free this fall, and it's an e-newsletter that goes out to more than 20,000 people. And we still have a website, Georgia High School Football Daily, that you can do the Google and find us there, and there's a link on there where you can subscribe, and again, it's free. So, yes, it's pretty good deal, and we've been doing that since Chip Say and I, who are the co-founders of it, started it in 2009, and we feel like that is the best, just best coverage of high school football and the nitty-gritty of it, and the schedules and the standings and what's going on that there is in the state.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And so I guess it will start back in early August because, gosh.
Yeah, our first day is usually the first weekday in August, so that could be August 1st if it falls on a weekday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Right around the corner since today is April 1st, so won't be long. Well, Todd, thanks for joining us today, and as always, we'll stay in touch, and we appreciate your time.
All right. Hey, thanks, Jeff. Take care, man.
Right. That has been Todd Holcomb of AJC Varsity, the Georgia High School Football Daily. And, man, he knows all about not only high school football, but sports in Georgia in general.
Absolutely.
And just a great guy, longtime friend of Todd.
And you are also our high school football correspondent, so you know a lot about football. So
yeah, I love...
one of the best correspondents, in my opinion, out there.
Well, I appreciate that. But, yeah, I love broadcasting the local game. We have a game of the week on WMOQ on Friday nights. And John Wilson and I, we became good buddies. John is running now. He's he will text me and like, man, I ran a 10K, I ran a 5K, I want to run a half marathon. Yeah. He's
You've
getting it done.
inspired him.
Yeah,
yes, I love that.
Maybe John and I sometime this year can go run a 10K together or a half marathon and wear WMOQ shirts.
Hey, I love that.
All right. Well, you're listening to the Marc McMain Show on WMOQ. No, I am not Marc McMain, and no, I am not running for state senate, although sometimes I think I should run for state senate. But I'm Jeff Hood, sitting in for Marc on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. So we're going to take a break, and this is Easter week, folks. Sunday, you got to make plans to find a church and go and worship on Sunday, Easter, and dress up. Everybody, gets their Sunday best out. Well, our next guest that we're going to have on in just a minute is a pastor over in Oconee County. He's going to tell you all about their church and a little about his background. So that's going to be exciting. So stick with us, and we'll be back with Pastor Mike Ricks right after this on Q 92.3.
Affordable housing is just around the corner at Cimarron Park. Cimarron Park is a mobile community located on Harry Arnold Road, just off of Highway 78 in Monroe, that offers 2- and 3-bedroom homes with spacious wooded lots, lit streets, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Some homes are for sale with available financing. Call James for all the details. 404-401-1068. That's 404-401-1068. Or go to CimarronPark.com.
Hey, this is attorney Bart Bitton with Bitton & Bitton. I live and work right here in Monroe, Georgia, and I am proud to serve this area. If you've been hurt in a car accident, you don't need some out-of-town lawyer that treats you like a number. You deserve a local lawyer you can trust, someone who lives here, works here, and takes care of people. So remember this, if you're ever in a car accident, be smart, call Bart. Bitton & Bitton, local lawyers you can trust.
When you walk through the doors of Campton Restaurant, you're not just here for a meal, you're part of a tradition. I'm fourth generation owner Josh Parker, and for nearly 40 years, families in Walton County and surrounding areas have gathered around our tables to share stories, laughter, and good Southern cooking. From crispy fried chicken to heart-healthy daily specials, there's always a plate waiting with your name on it. We're open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. So come on by, make yourself at home, and experience Campton Restaurant, where family tradition meets every meal.
WMOQ 92.3 FM, the Marc McMain Show. Jeff Hood sitting in on this Wednesday. Well, each week, and I'm filling in for Mark on Wednesdays, I try to think of what would really be applicable that week, something in the news or something coming up. And in my opinion, there's nothing more important than Easter. And what happened years ago on that day that we celebrate and remember the resurrection of Jesus and defeating death. And there's nothing more important than that. There shouldn't be in your life. And so I thought, we need to have a man of faith on to talk about Easter and talk about the church where he pastors, and over in Oconee County where I live. And I thought, I need to get a good friend on the air, and man, he always responds so positively and made himself available, and that is Pastor Mike Ricks of Bethabara Baptist Church in Oconee County. And Mike, good to have you with us today.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. It's good to be here.
Yes, sir. Well, I've known Pastor Mike for many years, and Mike, kind of introduce yourself to our listeners. I guess my first recollection of you was when you were a youth pastor a few decades ago.
Yeah.
But take us even further back, like kind of your early days, childhood, and kind of lead us up to tell us about your family and what led you to get into the ministry.
Yeah, I felt called to the ministry when I was in high school, and at a summer camp actually, and had been in church all my life, like many can say, and baptized on Easter in 4th grade. Way back in the day, I think we were celebrating our bicentennial back then. 1976, and then came to the University of Georgia after going to junior college for 2 years at Clayton State. Came to UGA, got real involved in the Baptist Student Union. And from there, started working at a local church part-time. And it wasn't long before I'd taken a position here in Watkinsville, or in Oconee County at Briarwood Baptist. Mm-hmm. Started out part-time and then became full-time youth pastor, and worked with youth, children, senior adults, whatever else assigned by the pastor. For about 26 years there on Highway 53.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. And then Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, Mike, is I have so many people when I bring up your name, they say, "Oh yeah, I remember Mike was my youth pastor at Briarwood." You have made such an impression and touched so many lives in our area over during that span of 26 years.
And God is good. Now, I've worked for some really great pastors, and Briarwood's a super church. Matt Weddington is doing a wonderful job there. Cameron Atkins is a youth pastor, and they're just, it's going great there right now.
Good.
But the Lord called me to Bethabara on Highway 78, and yeah, man, that's where we are.
Yeah. Now, I was telling Chastity before the show, you have got the coolest landmark to tell people when they ask you, where exactly is your church? And you don't have to say the convenience store or this, where the schoolhouse used to be. What is the landmark that is close to your church?
You have to be referring to Striplings.
Yes, sir. Striplings. That is awesome.
When you stop and get your fried okra, or your fried chicken, or get gas, or whatever else you need, let me tell you, Jeff, have you ever tried their cakes?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Man, they have some great cakes.
I think they have 2,000 calories, but yes, they are wonderful.
Oh yeah, at least. And my wife laughs at me because on her birthday, I always stop and get her cake. She said, "Did you get me another gas station cake?" I said, "No, baby. This is a cake from Stripling's."
That's right. That's the real deal cake. Yeah.
They really are. Yeah, we're about 500 yards, 600 yards towards Monroe from there.
Right. That's like maybe nowadays these guys on the PGA Tour hitting a driver get the right bounce, and they could go from Striplings to Bethabara Baptist Church on one swing.
If you didn't hit a car, you could probably do that on that highway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, okay, let's go back a little. You told us about the Lord calling you to get into the ministry, but we would be remiss if you didn't tell us a little about the Mrs. and your two young boys.
Sure. Betsy McClendon became my wife back in 2003. And 2003. 2003. She hails from Virginia. She's got family here in Georgia, but she went to school up in Virginia. And we got married. What's that? 23 years ago. Okay. And we have two kids. Mac, who is a sophomore at UGA.
Go Dogs.
And Jack,
right.
who will be. Yeah, right. That's right. And Jack will be a freshman at Georgia Southern this fall. He's a senior at the Oconee County High School.
There you go. All right. Hey, let me hit the pause button 1 second because I couldn't resist. Right. Our kids, like yours, went through the school system in Oconee County, best in the state. But you know what I didn't realize is how good our athletics are at North Oconee and Oconee. And Mike, you may have noticed this, but as of right now, between the two schools, North Oconee and Oconee, there will be 4 players playing for Kirby Smart at UGA this fall. There will be 2 players playing for the former coach of LSU, Lane Kiffin, at LSU this fall. There are currently 3 players that went to either North Oconee or Oconee County, 3 that are on Major League Baseball rosters. We're talking 2 high schools that have produced that kind of talent that is currently playing at such high levels. And we're not a Cobb County or Gwinnett County school. We're kind of middle of the pack. That is unbelievable.
And don't forget Cole Johnson making those heroic catches at UGA.
Well, that's true. You know, you're right.
That's right.
You're right.
Did you see that video, or were you there live for the game when he caught that?
I was not. I've seen the video. Yeah. So that was just unreal. But we are blessed in Oconee County for many reasons when you talk about our school system. And I only bring that up because my kids went to the school system there, and your younger son is getting ready to graduate. But, man, what a school system. God is good even with our schools. So
I mean, at Oconee, the soccer program, they've got multiple state titles, girls and boys. The same thing with the cross country. I mean, it's pretty well rounded. And of course, North Oconee's basketball program, good gracious, man. I mean, they're just,
Yeah.
And our girls basketball program this year went so deep, the Elite Eight or whatever.
Right.
So there's good times.
Oh yeah, and then North Oconee with Coach Tyler Arndt. They won a state title a couple of years ago, and they just he has built just kind of a dynasty there with the Titans.
Strong team.
Yeah, and basketball, boys basketball. Yeah,
with both my boys playing against the Titans on Friday nights, I didn't feel comfortable saying that, so I'm glad you did.
All right.
Yeah, but they did. They have such a powerhouse up there, man. It's really phenomenal.
Okay. All right. So I got sidetracked, but let's get back on the rails.
That's okay.
Here. But okay, so you were a youth pastor for 26 years at Briarwood.
Yep. That's correct.
And kind of got led down that path to work with youth. But tell us about the transition to becoming an actual pastor. How did that come about?
Wow, that's a long story, but the short version is I started working at Georgia Baptist Mission Board and helping pastors around the state with their youth ministry and children's ministry and different kind of things like that, and training youth pastors. And then COVID hit. Perhaps you remember that event.
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, yep. And budgets went crazy, and I lost my job. And so from there, at that age, I was, I don't know, my late 60s, and I really didn't know if I could go in and start doing youth ministry again in my 50s. I just, be honest with you, was kind of my fault. And I was really hungry to start leading a church from the pulpit, and started looking, but the doors opened up at another ministry in the community, Bethlehem Counseling Center, and I started working over there in 22 full-time, and started serving as a fill-in preacher for about 2 years. And then the position at Bethabara came open, and so now I'm what they call a bivocational pastor. So during the week, I work at the Christian Counseling Center, and then on Sunday I am at Bethabara.
Awesome.
So that's kind of the long short story.
Okay. Well, you did well. You told me some things I didn't know. I kind of suspected, but you filled in the blanks real nicely. So we're talking to Pastor Mike Ricks of Bethabara Baptist Church over in Statham, but it's really on Highway 78 near Stripling's. And not far from Walton County. So if you folks in Walton County looking for a good church, you'll want to take a look at Bethabara. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. In our last segment, we are going to let Mike Ricks do a free commercial about what is going on at Bethabara, all the programs, things that they offer. And we love to do that because we love it when people find out about these great churches in the community, and hopefully some of them that are looking for a church home will consider this one. So we're going to do that right after this commercial. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show on Q92.3.
Pay-to-play, sweetheart deals, government land grabs, and a rigged gambling law. Corrupt career politician Burt Jones made a fortune in public office. But it gets worse. Now Jones is in the tank for illegal Chinese vapes. They're poisonous, they're addicting our kids, and President Trump issued a national order to ban them. But just like a career politician, Burt Jones ignored Trump's order and blocked legislation to stop the sale of illegal Chinese vape pens in Georgia. That's right, Jones ignored Trump and blocked the legislation to ban them right here in Georgia. Why? Because the Jones family is making big bucks selling the same deadly addictive Chinese vapes Trump banned in their gas stations. Corrupt career politician Burt Jones. He sold out Georgia for Chinese vapes.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
$10,000 off MSRP on select 2026 Ford Explorer STs and trimmers. It's just one of the deals through March 31st at Akins Ford in Winder. Hi, this is Brad Akins, and these Explorers also come with Ford's 10-year limited factory warranty and no additional charge. Plate number 40030, MSRP $60,795. Deed retains factory rebate plus government fees with approved financing through Ford Credit and your 1995 or newer trade. Ford's limited warranty is 10 years or 100,000 miles. See dealer for details. Visit us today at AkinsFord.com.
Sometimes you can outgrow personal touch. Businesses are designed to do that, and sometimes businesses take quality over character. At Loganville Ford, we have a very rich history of integrity passed down through generations. Since 1961, Loganville Ford has been taking care of our community. That's what we do. We take care of you and your family. We have been family-driven, family-owned, and family-operated from the start, pushing families forward since 1961. Come see us at Loganville Ford, where people still matter. See us on Highway 78 in Loganville or LoganvilleFord.com.
Welcome back. Wednesday afternoon, beautiful weather, Easter week, Holy Week, and then next week's the Masters. This is my favorite time of the year, but the most important time of this week is coming up on Sunday, Easter, when Christians around the world know that that's when we remember the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And Mike, I think Pastor Mike Ricks of Beth the Bear Baptist Church in Oconee County, I think that's a great lead-in, because we need people to find a good church to go on this Sunday morning, Easter, and tell folks what in the world have you got going on over at Beth the Bear Baptist Church for Easter.
And we're excited about Easter, that's for sure. 7:30, we're doing our outside service. I can't honestly call it a sunrise service, because sunrise, I think, is like 7:15, 7:20.
Yeah.
But we're calling it a sunrise service, outdoor service at 7:30, out on the front steps of the church. And then at 10:30, we are going to have our traditional worship service inside the beautiful sanctuary there at Beth the Bear, and looking forward to it.
Yeah. You know, there's just something special, though, about Easter. Everybody's wearing their Sunday best, and, you know, I kind of half joking, you know, you draw some people that you only see once or twice a year, but, you know,
sure.
I know from your perspective, you know, you want to, you know, explain the gospel, and especially the importance of this coming Sunday, to get them back, get them engaged, and, you know, so they can, you know, develop a relationship with Christ.
Right, exactly. You know, I hope that they'll come and hear the story of Jesus, and that the Holy Spirit will just enlighten them and fill their hearts, and they'll want to come back the next Sunday, you know. Or maybe they'll want to come back on Wednesday night. We have a Bible program for women in the morning at 11 o'clock on Wednesday mornings, and then for the whole church, Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. We're going actually studying the book of Revelation, which is quite appropriate for for this time, you know, for things that are going on in the world today.
Right.
But you know, God's in control, man, and
that's right.
I think that the peace that the Lord has put in my life, you know, I'm 60 years old. You know, I tell people I don't, you know, I look like a granddaddy, but I'm actually just a daddy. But you know, that's a long time, and you know, I've been through a lot of stuff, and I can tell you that having the Lord as a consistent guide and support and Savior and Lord of my life is just provided such peace and such comfort, and I want everybody to feel that, not because I want to, you know, be tell you how to live your life, but just share with you the hope that I have found, you know?
Yeah.
That's what Beth Bear is about, sharing the hope that we have found.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like when we went through the pandemic and all, a lot of people started watching church on TV or streaming it and got away from going back to church, because, you know, I feel like you need to be around other people, Christians, and, you know, you can have in Sunday school the dialogue, asking questions, and that's so important. So if you're one of those folks that, you know, you got hooked on just sitting at home watching it on TV, and the TV evangelists are streaming. You need to get out there, and because it's so important to gather together.
Right. We don't have Sunday school this week, but every other Sunday we have Sunday school at 9:30, and people can come and be a part of that. And it's just the experience you described, where we open the Word of God and share it and talk about it and learn how to apply it to our lives.
Yeah.
And then weekly our worship service is at 10:30, and I say jokingly, most of us are at work by 8 or 8:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, to get somewhere by 10:30 should be pretty easy.
Yeah. That's it
really is.
That's not a hard ask to be somewhere at 10:30.
That's not a hard ask.
So, yeah. Now,
it's not a hard ask.
Yeah. So, now I think I was reading that, I know this Sunday will be an Easter themed message, but are you guys on Sunday morning studying the book of John?
We are. We're going through the book of John, and I'm okay, look, I've been a professional Christian for a long time, okay? Been a youth pastor since 1990.
Yeah.
So, but this year, studying the life of Jesus in the book of John, week by week by week, I got to be honest with you, when I read this morning, when I was reading through the narrative of the crucifixion, I mean, honestly, it brought me to tears thinking about the context of who Jesus is, and just, I don't know, going through the book of John has really humanized the walk of Jesus and the life of Jesus, the Son of Man, Son of God, and light of the world. It's just been really enriching to go verse by verse, chapter by chapter through the book of John.
Yeah. I love that book, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So
it's going to be rich on Sunday.
Oh,
yep.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. It is definitely. Now, Chastity brought something up during the break. I'm going to let her chime in. She's our running the board for us. Chastity, what you got for Pastor Mike?
Well, I was letting Jeff know that Pastor Mike is always tuning in. Well, the show, the Bethel Baptist Church Show, 9:30 every Sunday morning here on Real Country Q92.3. So Pastor Mike is also delivering the message, the word from the Lord over our airways. So make sure if you can't be there in person, you can always tune in here to Real Country Q92.3 and hear Pastor Rick over at Bethel Baptist giving a beautiful sermon every Sunday.
How about that? Mike, I didn't know, honestly, because I'm at my church on Sunday morning, so I didn't know that. I guess that obviously was taped, but that your sermons are airing here on Q92.3 on Sunday mornings.
I didn't know that either. So it kind of surprised to me too. But praise the Lord. It might be another Bethel church. I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Bethel, is there another Bethel?
Okay.
Bethel
we'll have to
Baptist?
investigate that.
Yeah.
But Chastity brought that up.
Check that out.
I was sure that it was with you, Pastor.
Oh well.
So
I would be happy.
I was leaning on Chastity on that one. So.
I know. So we might have to check into that, but definitely Bethel Baptist does air here 9:30 Sunday morning. So
well, good.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Now, is there anything else about Bethabara Baptist Church you want to tell us about? Any programs? Do you have? Are you looking?
I will say.
Go ahead, Marc.
I'll say this. Okay, I support all our churches in the community. Yeah. I mean, there's some really wonderful pastors and youth pastors and college pastors and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. Bethabara is a little smaller, and we're probably a little more traditional than a lot of the big churches. So if that's more in vein with...
Let's see, did we lose Mike?
Pastor?
See if you can get back on the line if he dropped.
It truly
there he is.
is.
Gotcha. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. It truly is more of a more leaning traditional blend.
Yeah.
So if that's more your thing, we'd love, or if it's not, come try it out anyway.
Yeah.
And I've had people tell me, I've had people that come there and say, hey, listen, I go to a bigger church, but this was kind of refreshing to be with, in a setting like this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I know that, just down the street from you, there's a church that is huge. And, for me and my wife, though, we do prefer the smaller, church where we feel like we can get to know people. And we just wonder, gosh, I feel like I'm at a ball game or something. I don't know who all these people are. I see them, but I don't know them. So there's something special. There's still something special about traditional, and it doesn't have to be a huge number of people.
Right. And, but if someone didn't want to come to Bethabara, I would say, man, Prince Avenue, Briarwood, First Baptist, Bethlehem. There's some wonderful churches. Oh, I know I'm leaving someone out. Living Word down the street from us. They're just a bunch of over in Athens and Monroe First Baptist. 1028. There's just some wonderful churches in our area. And everybody forgive me if I left your church out, but
we will forgive you.
But there really are some wonderful churches and some wonderful pastors.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be a part of the ministering team in this area, and that's really the way I look at it. I pray for their churches, I pray for those guys, and there's a lot of folks right here that need to know the Lord.
Yes.
And need a place to join in.
To your point, it's unbelievable, Mike, in this day and age, how many people are unchurched. So, you're not on here trying to steal people from other churches where they're, involved. But gosh, the flock is out there, and it's just hard to believe there's so many people, especially that have children, that just are not going to church. So they need to go this Sunday and just get engaged and learn and, worship.
Oh, yeah. And there's going to be so many visitors there at different churches this week that you won't have to feel any, it's going to be a real easy connect, They want you there, and we want you to come to church. So, it's going to be an easy win for everybody.
Right.
And I hope that people be encouraged by that and say, well, maybe it is time for me to step out and do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. You said something at the beginning, and we got just a couple of minutes left, but that kind of sparked my interest when I think you said you had come to know Christ, that you mentioned the bicentennial, I think, back 200 years celebration, and lo and behold, can you believe it, Mike? America 250. Our country's going to celebrate 250 years this summer. Just curious, are you guys planning on anything, to not only, obviously worshiping Christ is number one, but to do something to honor America? Anything kind of on the planning board?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'll promise you that whatever we do, it's going to include barbecue.
Of course, I love barbecue. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I know that we'll do something.
Yeah.
And, I know that it involved music, and I know it'll involve barbecue. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, once again, our guest has been Pastor Mike Ricks from Bethabara Baptist Church in Statham. But it's not far from Statham, but it's actually on Highway 78, not far from Walton County, but in Oconee County.
Yeah.
And what's that intersection? That's where Highway 78 intersects with 53.
Yeah.
And
that's right. Some people remember that community as Dark Corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And if we were just a little bit further east, I guess it is, or we're just down the street just a little bit, we'd have a Bogart address.
Okay.
So
well, leave it to the Postal Service.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Mike, thanks so much. And if you're looking for a church to attend this Sunday, I can attest this is a good man. Go visit Bethabara Baptist Church, and they will. What was that? 7:30 for the early morning worship, and then 10:30 for the worship in the building. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Mike, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yes, sir. And that has been, again, Mike Ricks, pastor at Bethabara Baptist Church. And Chastity, the hour has flown by, and been a great show.
It always goes by so fast.
It does.
And that was a wonderful show today. So.
Yeah. So thanks
job.
for last second, Todd Holcomb, telling us what's going on with the high school football Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then, of course, Pastor Mike Ricks, Bethabara Baptist Church. And so we will look forward to I'll see you next Wednesday, and then, of course, the show every day, Monday through Friday, noon, the Marc McMain Show. And so until then, y'all have a great week, and get out and find a church on Sunday morning for Easter. This is Jeff Hood sitting in on the Marc McMain Show on Q92.3.